Good evening and welcome to our special coverage here at Mandate 2026. I'm Madhav Das Gopalakrishnan along with my colleagues Zaka Jacob and Hina Gambhir. We're going to be breaking down the big Tamil Nadu suspense because Tamil Nadu is staring at a political moment that could potentially redraw its power map, and exit polls have detonated a debate that no one can ignore. A 2-year-old party, a first-time electoral debut, and yet numbers that place Vijay within touching distance of power. Is this a surge or a statistical shock? Is this a mandate in the making or a moment of overestimating it? Because if these projections hold, Tamil Nadu may be on the brink of its biggest political disruption in decades. The ruling DMK is pushing back with confidence. The aiadmk is still in the contest, and suddenly the fight is triangular, tight and unpredictable. Let's start with the numbers that have actually triggered this entire political churn. Let me go across to my colleague Hina Gambhir, who has all those big numbers with her. Over to you, Hina.
That's right. Let's take our viewers through the poll of polls, because this is the biggest talking point right now. What is going to happen in Tamil Nadu come 4th of May? And if you look at poll of polls, then DMK is seen getting somewhere between 114 to 128 seats, aiadmk plus allies between 79 to 91. But this is going to be the most important factor. If you look at poll of polls, it's looking like 23 to 30 odd seats for TVK, others 0 to 3. And the most important aspect is going to be the role that TVK is going to play, because there is one exit poll, Madhav, that has given a slightly different picture.
Right, absolutely. And Zaka, it's one picture over there. There are others, of course, which have given up to 40 seats even for the TVK. And of course, we have JVC's poll, which has given it to the ADMK alliance. So, what does one make of all these different numbers?
Come across a poll, and JVC, you can weigh in on this, where in Tamil Nadu, you've had this kind of a swing for a new party. I mean, let alone the new party has never, made a mark in this kind of fashion. In Tamil Nadu, there have been new players. There have been third parties, Vijay Kant, Baiko, Mr. Mupanar, came in and so on. But at the end of the day, you can't have such a wild swing that you go from 8 seats or 9 seats on the lower side by one poll to 120 seats at the higher side to another poll. Either the pollsters don't know what they're doing, or, this is completely unpredictable.
Zaka, you're right. See, because there cannot be such an extreme where I'm giving 15 seats and somebody is giving 120 seats. The point is that whom do you survey? Because when we survey in the city and the urban areas and the youngsters, even in the rural areas, youngsters, they're all voting for TVK. Because TVK is disrupting. Let's take about Chennai. Chennai, aiadmk has structurally been weaker even during MGR's period and Jayalalitha's period. So ADMK has gone into a silent mode, but for few constituencies like T Nagar or Velachery, something of the other kind. DMK, honestly, has not done anything big for Chennai. Chennai rains, it rains every year, and we have seen it, slums and all those stuff. And what happened? Stalin released a manifesto for Chennai exclusively just few days before.
Correct.
What it showed was Chennai was yearning for a change, and Vijay came as a messiah. And that is getting reflected in the other urban areas. Now, any new player comes into, a pollster would find it extremely difficult. Jharkhand, we had a new player, and as a result of which, we all thought that he was disrupting JMM, but he was actually disrupting BJP by taking OBC votes. So when a new player enters in, it's extremely difficult. Yeah, even I have my research where if these votes are going to come to Vijay, 37% Vijay can score. But at the end of the day, we have sitting in the drawing rooms and making calculations. But what I did was, based on my calculation, I went to the ground. 230,000 people is my sample size. Personally, I include 5,000 people. So what I have heard, what I have seen is basically what has come out in my poll. But there can be error.
You square that, and I said this in my interview with Pradeep Gupta also. Sabha Naqvi, elections and voting is not necessarily a logical decision. Sometimes people vote on the basis of emotions. And you can't argue against frenzy. And in Vijay's case, we are seeing a frenzy. Maybe this frenzy will pass, but there's no rational argument against a frenzy. Do you see this?
I agree with you, and I'm so glad that JVC that we've sat through so many polls that you've given the sample size, because now today polls then the sample size is being asked for. So I'm very glad about that. No, just that's good to hear. I do agree, and you know, to my mind, is one of the disruptors that happened in this city where we are recording this program. Well, in Delhi, not in Noida, but was Aam Aadmi Party. Nobody could calculate what they did, and they disrupted things. And this is a city-state. So I'm just saying, if
but
that
even in
happens,
Punjab, they managed to do that. They managed to upset even in Punjab.
Yeah, no,
so two sitting options.
Yes. So, and nobody could factor that in. It was a shock. And nobody in Punjab knew it was happening. So if it's happening, it would be an interesting phenomena. It would also be a very historically significant phenomena, because the Dravida movement, both the Anna DMK and DMK, come out of that ideology, which is Periyar's ideology, which is actually the surviving ideology against Hindutva, in a way, because the left is very weakened these days. And, you know, so it...
By the way, he also has the Periyar and Anna and all of that in his rallies as well. It's not like he's saying that...
He's not from the system. He's you know...
But Zaka, we have both kind of, you know, precedents. If we look at the past, we have NTR's success and we have Prajarajyam Party. We didn't do well. It just got 18 assembly seats, if I remember. So that's the thing. It depends. There is a novelty part that Sabha is talking about. If the novelty part gains currency and the youth and there is mobilization, then perhaps it is in. Of course, it looks mathematically difficult, but not impossible. Yeah.
But perhaps you should take a look at those numbers, because you have the Axis numbers with you as well, Hina. Take us through those numbers.
Right. We'll just get those graphics up for our viewers. Axis My India is actually giving 98 to 120. That's the number that we are looking at for TVK. Now, this is slightly different from what all other exit polls have really suggested, and this is the biggest talking point right now. TVK 98 to 120, DMK plus 92 to 110, aiadmk plus 22 to 32. So it remains to be seen whether Vijay will have a fate like Prashant Kishore in Bihar or Arvind Kejriwal in the national capital.
Right, and in fact, there's another poll. It's not just this one. And Shekhar, you can come in on this. People's Insight says that DMK will get 120 to 140, ADMK 60 to 70, and TVK 30 to 40. So there's yet another poll, apart from, of course, what Axis My India is saying, which says Vijay will do far better than all the other polls.
No, if Vijay is going to do that well, then DMK cannot be 120.
Yeah.
Because whatever TVK gains, you know, 5 to 10, and each of this will have direct impact on DMK's tally, number one. Number two, you know, this kind of figures, 98 to 120, that's such a huge number for which TVK didn't do that homework. Because frenzy, passion, pull, cinematic appeal, yes, these are all. And ultimately, you know, the last few weeks was complete disarray as far as TVK managerial process was. One can say it doesn't matter, this is a day of social media, but then your opponents are very well organized. They have a very well oiled booth level management, both ADMK and DMK. So therefore...
Also money.
And money, yes,
let's not forget.
Big M.
I think money should not be made a huge factor, because Jagan Mohan Reddy was the Maharaja of freebies. Jagan Mohan Reddy gave more than anybody else could give, and he could not even become leader of the opposition.
I don't think
people can take the money and vote for somebody else. That can always happen.
In fact, a week back, lady told me, don't take video of mine. I said, why? No, sir, then the other party will not give me 1,000 rupees.
Can I just say one thing? 3 Tamil guys sitting there, and I doff my hat to your wisdom, and Shekhar is always... But when disruptions happen, then the normal things do not happen. That's all. When new parties suddenly... It does not happen. Okay. And none of us can
that's one anecdotal thing, reference which gives the credence to, you know, perhaps Vijay would do well. After 23rd polling day, there was a review meeting in the Congress, and where Rahul Gandhi is said to have said, because I was not present there, that, you know, they made a mistake in Tamil Nadu. There was a blunder. They should have gone with Vijay.
Why did he do it before the polling?
I should tell you that this gentleman was the first man who broke the story of Jai Jagat. In fact, I broke it in Tamil Nadu. He was the man who talked about Jai Jagat gang. There was a gang of Congress called Jai Jagat. They have a WhatsApp group, and they were the ones who tried to disrupt the DMK Congress alliance.
But will this disruption hurt the Congress in the long run is a big question. Will it hurt the India alliance as well is a question that is certainly debatable at this point of time. But there's a quick update coming in from Tamil Nadu. Let's quickly go across through that. As per sources, Tamil Nadu Chief Minister M.K. Stalin at today's meeting is evidently perturbed about the mandate that has been given by certain exit polls, including, of course, the one that we just discussed, Axis, and that have predicted for TVK a significant number of seats. He's reportedly gone around asking his party colleagues why has this edge been given to TVK. Additionally, in the meeting, one of his ministers has cautioned him about the potential loss of 3 seats in Chennai, but the chief minister seemed to be quite confident about DMK's victory. Let's go across to my colleague Imran. Very significant update coming in that this is not just causing flutters here in various studios in Noida, but also in Anna Arivalyam in Chennai.
Well, absolutely, Madhav. In fact, the Chief Minister, as soon as he returned to the city, went straight to the DMK office and had a meeting with the senior leadership of the DMK there. He was particularly was interested in the My Axis poll results about it and asked how they gave so much numbers to TVK, and there was explanation sought from the senior leadership about this. But there some of the leaders also expressed apprehensions about the losing some seats in Chennai, but CM was confident that they are not losing anything. In fact, CM even told the senior leadership that his state intelligence report says that the DMK is getting close to around 140 seats, is what he has said. Even though DMK officially maintains that they're getting 180, this is what CM has communicated, that they will be getting 140 and they will get comfortable majority, is what he's assured.
Imran, thanks for that. You know, they can either get 140 and the CM will not be perturbed, but Anand Ranganathan, if he's perturbed, if he's still getting 140, then why is he perturbed? I mean, there has to be only one of the true, what is the scientific term for it? Only one of these two things can be true.
Good evening, Zaka. This is beyond science, as Rajnikant would say. In fact, talking of the man, there's only one thing running in my mind ever since I saw the Axis numbers. Would Rajnikant have got as many?
As many?
No. This kind of frenzy was not there for Rajnikant.
But perhaps why he didn't come into politics.
So even if he had come to power, if he had come to politics, this kind of gathering, and this timing, there is anti-incumbency against Stalin, and there is a question mark about ADMK in urban areas, and that is...
Another poll has come. I
Yes,
think we can break
yes.
that.
I think Chanakya has come,
125 seats.
Yeah,
The
okay.
Chanakya
Let's
poll is
125 for...
Yeah,
We can put that breaking plate on our screens as well. We've got one more poll now. Today's Chanakya poll.
63 is giving.
63. This is yet another interesting poll because it's given 63 to TVK, DMK at 125, ADMK alliance at 45, others at 1. This makes it very interesting. Hina, I believe you have those numbers with you.
Well, we're going to quickly get those numbers up for our viewers, but what we can tell you is that this is yet another exit poll, viewers, that is giving a relatively good number of seats to the TVK, 63. We are going to quickly go get those numbers up as well for our viewers, but let's just tell you what we've got so far. Now, 125 for DMK. AIADMK is likely to get 45 seats, and this is from today's Chanakya. So these are the numbers that we've got right now from today's Chanakya. 114 to 136, that's the range for DMK and allies. AIADMK 34 to 56, TVK in the range of 52 to 74, others 0 to 2.
So if that happens, Stalin will become chief minister and Vijay will become leader of the opposition.
The governor was still there, and their numbers were the two could ally, which the BJP was trying to get Anna DMK and Vijay on one side.
Yeah.
Then there could be, then they could put. He would put an argument that an alliance has 1 seat more, hypothetically. But you need a really audacious governor, but he's sitting in Bengal.
So, I mean, just to say this, not at all to demean the entire exercise of exit polls, but the fact remains that, it's whenever you talk about even sample size, all the different exit polls are not polling the same people.
Right.
Yeah.
It's the sample size of, let's say, a band of people, and it's a completely inexact science. To give you a humorous example, in the UK, they have this funny candidates that stand against important. So there's a Lord Buckethead, and one agency decided to do exit poll and found out that Lord Buckethead is going to win 3 seats and get 7% of the vote. So obviously that wasn't true. He got probably just 3 votes.
Yes.
But the point I'm trying to make is that anybody can be enthused to say anything, and I mean...
No, each one has a target audience. See, as far as I'm concerned, my poll was heavily 60% rural, 40% urban. Even in the areas also. Because I know pretty well how the urban areas
whatever
are
I mean
going.
is, even in the rural, the other agency is not going to poll the exact same people that you.
Absolutely. Male, female, age, demographic, which region, all of these, urban, rural, all of these are various aspects.
You know, it is a one-year village. You know, you enter it is an SC village. It's all well known.
In fact, the lack of adequate caste representation has been pointed out in one of the surveys as well.
Just 2 days ago, Madhav, we were saying, sorry to interrupt, that Vijay cannot be a kingmaker. He's not going to get a single seat. Now we have two agencies giving him more than 74 seats, one in 150.
But is this scenario possible? I think we have the scenarios graphic as well. If neither party or neither principal Dravidian alliances get a majority, is it possible that we have an ADMK, TVK, maybe BJP sort of coalition government or support from the outside?
Let's take a look at that. Yeah.
Yes, so these are three scenarios that we have for our viewers at this point in time. First, if TVK gets, say, up to 20 to 40 seats, between 20 to 40 seats, then what happens? Then there can be a tie-up between TVK and AIADMK. Scenario number two is that if TVK gets about, say, 90 odd seats, and in the previous scenario's case, Vijay, maybe made the deputy chief minister, or will have a formula like what we have in Karnataka right now. Of course, it has not been implemented, but this 2.5-year CM formula is something that can be considered. Scenario number two, if TVK gets around, say, 90 seats, as is being projected by an exit poll right now, then what is the likely result? TVK and AIADMK tie up again. There is a possibility. Now, scenario number three is also very interesting. If TVK manages to get more than 100 seats, then there can be a possible tie-up between TVK and the Congress party. Now, we are saying this.
Saying, I mean, if Rahul Gandhi is watching this broadcast,
with 5 MLAs,
you're distancing yourself already from her.
But Rahul Gandhi has never criticized Vijay. He has supported Vijay on a number of issues.
And for the first time, Ashwini is smiling in our studio after a very long time. Ashwini, is this a likely scenario?
These exit polls, I don't know, the Anand was talking about the sample size of the people they would have spoken to. I'm very sure Access My India has spoken to only Vijay and put up a poll that this is the numbers, this is your opinion. So this doesn't look practical. I mean, we were discussing Vijay probably not get more than 5 seats. If these polls are right, then I think it is going to be like
let's get our guest from outside. Let me quickly introduce our guest.
A real president.
Harish, of course, is with us here in the studio, but let me quickly introduce our guest outside as well. Shrikant Karunesh is state spokesperson of Tamil Nadu BJP. We have Advocate Pugar Gandhi, national spokesperson of DMK. Kishore Swami is ADMK supporter, and we have Nandakumar, political analyst, of course, leans towards the TVK. But let me get in the DMK first. Pugar Gandhi, what do you make of these numbers? Because the number of surveys that are predicting a huge turnout as far as Vijay is concerned, or support as far as Vijay is concerned, only seems to be increasing. Now, even today's Chanakya talking about 60 seats plus.
No, what do you mean by this huge turnout? In percentage terms, how will you define what is a huge turnout?
Seats being given. Let me define it. Access My India gives about 90 to 110, if I'm not mistaken. There are others who have given 40, and now we have today's Chanakya, which is giving 63 seats. 70.
That's what I'm coming to. Madhu, in Tamil Nadu, there are totally 5.4 crores of voters after the FIR, out of which 85% has been polled. So anyone, in a tripartite contest, anyone to win any seat has to get at least 35% votes. Will Vijay be able to get 35% votes in any of the constituencies? This is question number one, because as far as DMK and ADMK are concerned, these are all well-established political parties with minimum voter base. When I'm saying minimum voter base, from 2011 or whether 2016 or 2021 or even 2024, each party, both ADMK and DMK, have minimum of 30% vote base. Minimum I'm talking about. And that particular minimum level has not been breached till now.
No, hang on, one second. That's like saying Congress party had minimum 30% vote base in Delhi. Or like saying Akali Dal had minimum 25% vote base in Punjab. See, when a new player comes, when a new player comes, he or she, takes away from the existing players. To say that you have some kind of a floor or a ceiling, that doesn't work in politics.
That is what I'm trying to say. You cannot compare Delhi with a state like Tamil Nadu. Tamil Nadu is a larger state. Delhi is an urbanized city, basically. It is a city state where most of the people are migrants. And there the app can make an impact, where here the politics takes a different turn. And Vijay to win even a single seat, or Vijay to get even, say, for example, 30%, he has to poll 30% across all the 234 seats.
Let's get Nandakumar on this. Nandakumar, is it something that is mathematically impossible, as Pugar Gandhi would have us believe? Do you agree with that analysis, Nandakumar?
No, I don't. I don't agree, because if the votes are getting concentrated in some areas, not suppose if DMK, whether DMK or ADMK, whenever they have won Tamil Nadu, it is not that their vote percentage is similar across all the constituencies. So the parties will be winning the seats where they are getting their votes concentrated. And if Pugal Gandhi was talking about our questioning TVKs crossing 30%, and it is excellently possible scenario in Chennai city. So even the DMK is rattled. That DMK, the Chennai city is the deep fortress of DMK, and Vijay is the biggest damage, creating a great damage in Chennai city. And it is not necessary that all the constituency of single party has to cross 35 to win a seat. That is not arithmetically possible for any party, whether they are ruling the state or they are ruling the country.
Okay,
and
so
again,
we have the poll of polls now with the additional of the Chanakya vote. Chanakya is given, I think, 63. Is that right? He's given a range, I think, 52 to 74 for yeah.
The aggregates is 63. Yeah.
Yes, so 52 to 74 for TVK, AIDMK 34 to 56, and for DMK 114 to 136. If you look at the average, the poll of polls here, now DMK plus stands at 110 to 127, 72 to 87 for AIDMK, and for Vijay's TVK 30 to 40, the new range as per the new update that we've got.
Essentially, there are three exit polls, which I was just repeating earlier. Alex, you can quickly just show that to our viewers, Hina. These are the three. There's Axis My India, which is at 98, 120.
Then today's Chanakya.
74 at today's Chanakya, and People's Insight at 30 to 40. So these three are the ones which are actually giving a huge chunk of the votes. Of course, JVC is another outlier at the other end, which is only giving 8 to 15 to the TVK.
No, but then you've got Vote Vibe also, which is even lower than JVC.
So, okay, JVC, so Vote Vibe has gone one step ahead of you.
Keep one thing in mind, I'm not questioning any pollster. Every pollster has to be respected. But the point is, there is 68% OBC and MBC population in Tamil Nadu. One of the pollster has only taken 28 into consideration. There are actually 14% one-year population, and he is talking about less than 7. Counter population is around 7%, 4%. They were same way. So he has gone and conducted a survey with 9% Brahmin population. 9% Brahmin population.
Actually, just 2 to 3%. Yeah,
only 3% of there. So demographically, there is a flaw in one of the agencies.
But JVC, can I flip that question? No. A Vijay supporter or a Vijay voter is voting beyond caste. No, he's not voting because he's a 1 year, or he's not voting because he's a counter.
Others, a counter is voting for Edappadi because Edappadi or a counter should become a chief minister.
Yeah.
A 1 year is voting for PMK because his party he wants PMK to win.
But that can't be applied to Vijay.
A Christian Nadar is voting for DMK because I've seen several pastors tell me. In Coimbatore,
which is fine. I'm asking about Vijay. People are not voting for Vijay because of his caste or his religion.
Will Vijay break the traditional caste arithmetic?
Even Vijay has selected Perambur and Trichy East based on the caste polarization.
That's not what I'm asking. What I'm asking is a Vijay voter voting because, he's Christian or he's Nadar or whatever? No, obviously not. They are voting because he's Vijay. He's a film star. It's as simple as that.
Maybe the fan frenzy
Let's
should be
get to
tested
BJP on that as well. We have Shrikant Karunesh of the BJP. Shrikant Karunesh, does Vijay's entry mark a bit of a caste agnostic or the traditional arithmetic that would be calculated for elections by political parties? Is he in a sense breaking all that? Are these numbers suggesting that in your view, Shrikant?
No, not at all, because I see there is no logic behind this, because the election, on the ground, it is totally different, because exit polls can give us some directions, but it largely depends on what spectrum of people you address. I totally agree with the JVC Sriramji, not because he supported BJP or ADMK alliance, but the thing is there is a logical sequence in that, because which segment of sample size they have taken. So those things matter a lot here, because the anti-incumbency, the anger of people, and very truly, the 33 to 35% of vote is very important for seat conversion. I don't think Vijay can convert that much of vote share into seats in all the constituencies as it is predicted. It's not so easy for TVK to perform that level. Because if you calculate all the agencies which have given the favorable votes to TVK, because the total, if you count, it ranges from 275 to 300 seats. We have only 234.
Well, all I can say, Srikanth Koresh, this is the first debate in the entire Tamil Nadu election in which the BJP and the DMK agree on something. That is the irrelevance of Vijay and the fact that you'll not be able to make a mark in this politics. But I want to bring in...
One, I think, important thing is, see, JVC has given the seats, so which are DMK, pro-DMK seats that have those
of every party, Congress,
right seats were traditionally pro-DMK, heavy DMK. Has that split been given?
No, I don't think there's a constituency-wide constituency breakup.
Yeah. Wherever the TVK is getting more seats, it's the aiadmk which is getting lesser seats.
No, you have to give what is the seat. No, you have to give district. No.
So TVK is...
That's a debatable point. Let's go one by one. Harish, you agree with his contention that wherever it is TVK winning, it is AIADMK that is losing and not the DMK?
Of course, it should be the case because they want to project them as a third function where the anti-incumbency vote should go to a third friend. That was the calculation. But here, whether they are going to eat the ADMK's kitty, if TVK is garnering at least from 12 to 18% vote, which I am betting on.
But
what about the minority?
Here's the data. If you look at female, which was traditionally an ADMK vote bank, at least when Jayalalitha was around, the prediction is that 38 points are going from ADMK. Sorry, 38 points Vijay is getting, of which 23 is coming from ADMK, only 13 is coming from DMK. So which means...
Where you get this data from the Axis polling?
Yeah, this is his polling. This is not my data, so don't please...
What
I'm saying is, there is data to show that Vijay is hurting, at least in the women's segment, he's hurting the ADMK more than he's hurting your party.
Zaka, give me a second. Fair second. I will make sure the Axis poll, it's not beyond to be trusted anymore when it comes to Tamil Nadu election. The sample size they have taken is 44,000 out of 4.83 crores who have electorally voted on the Tamil Nadu election, which is fractionally 0.001%. How come, as a management student, any data which should have a sample size of total things should be 11 to 12% to get an accurate result? Where he has taken a sample size of
Will you, if you have to have 11% sample size, you need to have
230,000.
Yeah,
230,000.
You have to have 48 lakh people polled. How can you poll 48 lakh people?
We don't want to rely upon all this. That is the DMK's function.
Let's look at this male and female. We can also look at how women have voted in the past election, because that seems to be a big chunk that's going away to Vijay, at least as per these polls.
That's right. So this is a gender-wise vote share number that we are talking about. This is from Access My India. DMK plus 36% males for DMK plus females 34%. And what you were explaining earlier, Zaka, for TVK, there is a gain. As far as female voters are concerned, the number stands at 38%. In terms of male voters, it stands at 32%. And there has been a drop for AIADMK. Male voters 26%, female voters 20%, and others, of course, much less.
So which means only 1 in 5 women, 1 in 5 women are voting for AIADMK. Can you imagine this? This was more than 50% when Jayalalitha was around.
Yes, and in fact,
I don't think so.
Let's get the ADMK supporter. Kishore Swami is with us. Kishore Swami, this should be a huge setback for the ADMK if this is actually happening on ground, because from the days of women's support for Jayalalitha to actually getting only about 20% of the female vote, we've come a very long distance.
No, due respect to all the psychologists who have come out with their numbers, I appreciate their effort. I really respect that they've gone to the field and they've attempted to get those numbers. But then, since they have thrown the numbers, we'll have to dissect them. Now, the problem here is, do we have any record where they have collected these numbers, like say constituency-wise? For example, there is a constituency like Shankarapuram. In that constituency, there is the different kind of voters in the hill, the different kind of voters in the plain. Even in the hill, one side of the hill they vote for ADMK, the other side of the hill they vote for DMK. Now, from where did you take these numbers? There are 70,000 or 75,000 booths. How many booths did you randomly pick? And what was your choice of picking those booths? If you're going to say about 180 numbers where your random numbers per booth, I appreciate it. Perhaps you worked on it, but do we have any data as to what went behind choosing those numbers and from which booths in which constituency? And I am given to understand one of the agencies are even coming out and saying that they haven't done constituency-wise, the methodology. If they haven't done it constituency-wise, do you understand and realize that candidates do matter?
Of course, candidates matter. There are multiple factors, but Kishore Swami, here's a essence of the entire question at this point of time. If you need the support of the TVK to form a government and you have the numbers and the maths adds up, will you be willing to go with the TVK? Yes or no?
No, you're talking about a scenario which cannot even emerge. That is what I'm trying to say. Because
there are
these numbers
three exit polls that have predicted a similar scenario, sir.
No, that's what. But I don't see from where they get these numbers. They're not coming out and putting those sources. When you don't put out your sources, why should I even believe your numbers? For example, Axis. Just look at the numbers that they threw the Bihar exit poll. They claimed the Mahagathbandhan is going to get anywhere between 98 to 118. The Mahagathbandhan ended up with 35. Now, this is the credibility of these agencies. Now, I am not trying to belittle them. Again, I'm saying I respect them because I have done we have taken sampling of almost about 72,147 people samplings across Tamil Nadu for the exit poll. Apart from that, we've taken 3 surveys, 1.25 lakh each. So I'm not saying this to brag, but since I have put in that effort, I'm saying which is the age group that they picked these sampling. What is the science that went behind it?
JVC, you want to answer that question? Because again, we've come back to the size, the sample, the quality of the survey.
I have only 2 things. My sample size I've already told you. And I have done my representative sampling is basically given more focus on rural than on urban. Because that's the way I approach it. Okay. And that is the reason why my results are like this. That's
okay. Yeah. No, one second.
I want to make a point.
That's an assumption which you have.
One second. Let's assumption you have.
Look, for studies of society, the most credible post-poll analysis, it used to be pre-poll, is done by the CSDS, which is Delhi-based. That is what academics, scholars and all use that data. Now, but their sample size is very small because they don't have the funds, but they have very highly trained people who are sitting in the field and they actually get a lot of things right, though they've also erred. And they have, so it's not the size, it's not just the scale. I think since we're talking about sample, CSDS data is used by world academics. It is that credible. It's used by all social science, political theory, everything. So sample size, it's how do you train people to go and ask the question? I think they focus on that.
Okay. No, I want to go back to that graphic about how women voted in the previous elections and how there's a stark difference in how ADMK got majority women support. Look at these elections. Yeah, Hina.
That's right. So this is exactly what I was trying to suggest, that here if you see the numbers, how AIADMK has always traditionally got like more support of women voters. And if you see from 2011 till 2021, 40% to DMK, 51% to AIADMK. Then in 2016, 35% to DMK plus, 46% to AIADMK. And then 2021, 45, 42%. And now what we are seeing is, as per Access My India's numbers, this is going down and TVK, their share has gone up.
So, Zaka, this is very revealing. Because here is a situation where the BJP actually hyped this women reservation bill and delimitation address to the nation, and you look at the kind of, possible verdict. So women are actually drifting away. This brings a question whether the BJP as a national party is pulling down the, a regional ally like the AIDMK. I know there were a lot of problems were there to come together. And also, I don't see a possibility of Vijay ever aligning with AIDMK and BJP. If he wanted to do it, he would have done it in the first place.
No. So I want Shekhar. Shekhar can comment on this because Shekhar, he has attacked both the DMK as well as the BJP through this campaign. We've seen that. No, so how is it likely if he does get such a significant chunk, he will have to choose one side if neither side has a clear majority?
He also put under severe pressure from the BJP over that film release. Through other
and
ways.
there is a CBI case also.
Yeah,
there is a CBI case as well.
Mother, he was put under a lot of pressure.
See, women's bill was not an issue in Tamil Nadu.
Non-issue.
See, it is totally non-issue there. The issue was the women's safety issue. And TVK, Vijay himself personally hammered on this issue, directly accusing the DMK, the government, the administration, functionaries, directly responsible for the insecurity among women.
Give me a second. I beg to differ because these kind of insinuations have been put across all the media when it comes to DMK, where the NCRB data shows all the 2 states, which is Uttar Pradesh and Bihar, which is BJP rule. And when it comes to the women's safety, when it comes across, we have the women's participations almost 47%, where you have Indian overall populations which is on the workforce is 24%.
Okay,
so
we are going to buy some breaking news. One second, go to that, yeah. One second, we've got a breaking news, it's an important one. One second, Harish, one second, please.
You are making sure...
We're getting a piece of breaking news, yeah.
TVK, in fact, has reacted. It's the Joint General Secretary of CTR, Nirmal Kumar, who says that they don't want to react to the exit polls. They're saying the ground is positive. Also saying that TVK, ADMK, post-poll alliance talks are nothing but rumors. Let's listen into that.
Joining us now for a conversation is Joint General Secretary of TVK. Sir, today there is a crucial meeting of TVK Chief Vijay with all the 234 candidates. So what was the agenda of the meeting? What advice did Mr. Vijay give to the candidates?
See, our leader met all the candidates today, and our leader given advice to them how they should react or how they should prepare for the upcoming 4th counting day, because like lot more issues we are DMK might cause to us, and they should be our candidates should be more cautious, and all our agents need to be very much prepared on that. So we have given list of preparations. Our leader has given a list of preparations. What are the areas they should be cautious and how they should prepare for the counting day, and until like a closure until they receive the certificate, how they should act on every moment. So the complete advice has been given by our leader, and advise them to be how they should prepare for the upcoming 4th counting.
Sir, Access My India poll is giving up to 120 seats to TVK.
See, we don't want to discuss any on the exit poll, because like we know what has happened. Even myself as a candidate, we know what has happened on the ground. We have seen the ground is very positive, and we know how the people reacted to us. Definitely, we do not hear any of this exit poll. Only 3 more days. Let us wait for the results.
How many seats are you looking at?
No, let us wait, because people have given.
You have an aspiration kind of.
No, none of us were able to judge what is going to what was the people's decision. So let us wait till 4th of.
So final question: there is a speculation that there is it's going to be a post-poll alliance between ADMK and TVK. That both the parties are going to explore that possibility. Is that even in the cards?
No, nothing like that. Please don't. We don't want to hear any of these rumors now, because we are preparing for the 4th counting. We have not yet done any of such discussions, and never ever it is going to happen.
No talks happening.
Nothing like that. We are just preparing for 4th counting. Nothing else is happening.
So no talks with AIADMK. That's the confirmation coming in from the Joint General Secretary of the TVK, Nirmal Kumar. Dr. Ranganathan.
I think we can be possibly certain about, although it's difficult to say, but I think Vijay would get more votes than the Congress. But I think, let me just say, I don't know where my good friend Harish got the numbers from, that you need 10 to 12% of sample size to get an accurate this thing. You don't even need 0.1%. I mean, you have used 0.5%. Okay, so for a reliable, and IIT Kanpur has done studies, you don't even need 0.01 or 0.05%. What matters is the reliability of the sample that you take, not the amount of thing. It's not a census, it's a survey. So I think there, my good friend, I think 10% assume. But the important point...
Will you consider that as a survey? Come on.
Sorry, say that again.
I also done a survey in my office of 40 people, our strength I have.
So as I said, I don't need to repeat myself.
Sample size is important. If sample size is not relevant,
sample size is important, but
I think statisticians have established this, and the Indian Statistical Institute is the best.
This data from that, they will get more than Congress.
They have actually given the exact mathematical number.
Survey you have done.
Just a second.
Don't be so rhetoric.
30 seconds.
Don't be so rhetoric.
Okay, Harish.
30 seconds.
Quick, 30 seconds for Harish. We go across to other panelists. Quick, very quickly.
With due respect to sir, the fraction of voters where the Axis poll have taken is 0.001%. Have you ever made sure to precisely give a trend or the mood swings of the final voters where they go to vote? It alone can swing up to 3% to 5%. Any swing percentage of 3 to 5% can change historically when it comes to Tamil Nadu. Almost 30 to 40% of seats have been changed right from its 1952. So how come you can have a precise data of 0.001% out of 4.83 crore voters as a sample size to be relied upon?
Answer for psephologists and statisticians to answer. The only question that I think...
mathematically correct you?
fallacious
Can
in
I
the law.
mathematically correct you? 40,000 is 0.1%, not 0.0001%.
Okay,
Please.
I just ask JVC a question. JVC, how, since you've done, how is BJP performing and how is BJP performing?
Because you asked me a question, let me answer it. As far as DMK alliance is concerned and ADMK alliance is concerned, both the alliances, both the main Dravidian parties are doing well.
Okay.
DMK and ADMK are doing well.
It's
For the
alliance partner.
ADMK alliance, it's the BJP which is pulling down. In fact, there are 3 seats where TVK is on.
Okay, we'll have to leave it there. I'm sorry, we have to interrupt.
In the final minute, he's agreeing with JVC.
Places, they are Coimbatore South, Tirupur North, and Madurai South.
Okay, we'll have to leave it there. Ladies and gentlemen, I have to come in now because we have to take this very quick break. JVC, Sriram, Rashid Kidwai, Sabah Naqvi. In fact, we're going to have to. All right, let's listen to this conversation that Zaka had a short while earlier with Pradeep Gupta of Axis. Listen into that.
The biggest story in Mandate 2026, the biggest surprise element has been around the Tamil Nadu exit poll numbers by Axis My India. Joining me now is the Chairman and Managing Director of Axis My India, Pradeep Gupta. Thank you very much, Pradeep ji, for joining us. You have become a big hero since last night because of your numbers. I'm just, reminding our viewers of your numbers for Tamil Nadu once again. DMK Alliance, you have given between 92 to 110. TVK, the new party, you have given 98 to 120. AIDMK Alliance, 22 to 32. How have you arrived at this? Especially curious because you have given both DMK Alliance and TVK the exact same vote share at 35%.
Yes, Jaka, with the same vote share, 2% error margin, it can go plus minus 2%. It can be 33 for one party and it can go up to 37 for another party.
Okay.
So this is the kind of a range, vote share range we have given. Now coming to how we have arrived to this figure at Axis My India, our methodology is very simple. Face-to-face interview with representative sampling. And our team has traveled across the state of Tamil Nadu, and whatever findings we could get in our survey, we have projected here.
But Pradeep ji, tell me, no other survey, and I'm looking at the poll of polls, none of the other surveys have given TVK anything more than 15 or 20 seats maximum, minimum of 8 seats to maximum of 15 to 20 seats. Yours is the outlier poll which is giving him anywhere between 98 to 120 seats. What did you see that the other pollsters did not see?
So in our poll findings, we have seen majorly the two demography which is playing the role over here. One is the gender, which contributes 50% of the population, particularly women. Women voting more to TVK than DMK, and among men, male is voting more to DMK than to TVK. This is one. Two, another demography is age group. In age group of 18 to 39 years, which contributes 42% of voting population of Tamil Nadu, en masse they are voting in favor of TVK, whereas 40 plus age group, which contributes 58% of the population, their DMK is leading in that age group. So these are the two demography, and particularly on the ground, the kind of phenomena, the fan following, the stardom of Vijay is taking place is phenomenal. I mean, en masse people, particularly 18 year to 25 year, whomsoever you talk, more than 75% people are saying they are voting for Vijay.
No, anecdotally, I've also heard the same thing. But I want to break down both those, gender and this youth factor that you talk about. So in your poll, in gender, male for DMK is down 13 points, female is down 13 points. So both male and female is down 13 points. For TVK, male is up 32 points, female is up 38 points. So 38 female to 32 male for TVK. For ADMK, you have said male is down 15 and women is down minus 23. So is it fair to suggest that more women who used to vote for ADMK are now voting for Vijay?
Absolutely, yes. You are 100% right. That is the case we have witnessed. ADMK is losing big time among the women voters, which traditionally has been a stronghold this demography for AIDMK.
And why is that? Why are they voting for a new party?
New party meaning why they were voting to AIDMK because of J. Jayalalitha. Now she is no more, and the new star has emerged, and they are favoring him.
No, because the reason I asked for that is also because, see, for example, Stalin, one of his big flagship programs is for women. I think 1,500 or 2,000 rupees for women. So he was banking on that women support will come because he's been paying for the last 5 years 1,500 or 2,000 rupees every month to women. But it doesn't seem like that has helped.
It is helping in some way, but not fully. It is helping. Still DMK is holding on to 34% of women voter. Earlier, it used to be AIDMK who used to score more. And that is the precisely reason why in 2016, J. Jayalalitha repeated the government.
One other interesting data point that I saw was the more educated you are, the more you are tending to support TVK, which again I find quite interesting because 12th pass 41%, graduate 46%, postgraduate 38%, and professional degree or education 51%. So are you suggesting the more educated people are, the voter is, he or she is more inclined to supporting Vijay? If so, why?
I mean, that is something the technology and the fan following, and in particularly when it comes to youth and jo bolte na hum thoda padha likha, they don't go by a traditional way. The traditional way of party following for last 50 years, both the party, 50 years is too much a time. 50 years is too much a time to change, particularly for the younger demography and those who are educated ones. For traditional, that they just go with this thing, loyal voters, what you call them, or classify them.
So one other thing, Pradeep ji, Tamil Nadu has been a highly urbanized state, but yet at the same time, there are a large number of rural 15 points in rural, it's losing 12 points in urban. TVK is gaining 33 points in rural and 38 points in urban. Now, many people say that TVK is largely an urban phenomena. He won't get that much support in rural, but your data seems to show that urban-rural support is more or less the same. How?
No, not more or less the same, Jaka. So 5% point gap is there, 33 in rural and 38 in urban.
Okay.
33 in rural and 38 in urban with a big difference. But when it comes to rural and urban classification these days, in the age of technology, do you think people sitting in rural area does not have the smartphone or the social media connection? Information, the reaching out and outreach is not a problem, particularly in case of Vijay. I mean, he's a star, he's a movie star. So yes, that rural phenomena doesn't work. It's other way around. It works in his more favor.
You think it's also because his campaign has been focused a lot more on social media, and therefore these days everybody consumes social media
and theater, movies. In Tamil Nadu, movies is a big thing.
Okay.
Movies is also clubbed to.
Now let's come to the age demographic, and you're right. I mean, I also heard a lot of young people anecdotally saying that they will give Whistle a chance. Your data says amongst 18 to 19-year-olds, which is 3% of the electorate, you've given 68% support. 70% of people are supporting TVK. Between 20 to 29, that is 59%. So almost 60% is giving in the age group of 20 to 29, which is almost 20% of the electorate. So in the age group between 18 to 29, he has almost 65% support. You're saying that this is the fundamental driver of his win?
Yes, there are two things. One is the sheer weights among the population, the numbers. Two, influencer. They influence a lot. I have spoken to myself in Tamil Nadu. The lady at the age of 45, I asked her, whom you voted? She said, Vijay. I said, do you know Vijay's symbol? She said, yes. Whistle. I said, how do you know Whistle? She said, my daughter who is in Tanjavur called me, she's 28 years of age, and made me understand whom to vote, how to vote, and symbol. So this is the phenomena. This is where the technology comes into play.
So are you suggesting that even in families there is a divide, or younger voters are convincing their parents and their elders to vote for Whistle?
Yeah. Another case in Chennai, one of my friend's colleague, he says my 7-year daughter has told me, if you don't vote for Vijay, I will not talk to you.
Okay.
7-year daughter. Hear me out. 7-year daughter.
But tell me, Pradeep ji, this 18 to 29 is it's about 20% of the electorate. With 20%, he can't reach 35% votes, no?
No. If you see, Jaka, carefully, you are not seeing it carefully. Between 18 to 39, where the lead of TVK is way high than the DMK.
Okay.
18, which contributes 42% of the population.
Okay. But what about the people above 39, which is the majority, no?
That's what. That's 58%. But the margin there you see is not as much as here. So that suffices the fill the gap of this age group of 42%.
Okay, so you're saying that because he has much higher numbers in the younger demographic, he's able to challenge or beat the DMK, which may have a higher percentage in the older demographic, but the margin is much smaller for the DMK.
Higher in the younger demographic, yeah.
Okay.